All right, welcome back. Kinneas here, another Noob Flights, lesson number 4. The most important one of all, really, landing. Techniques for a successful touchdown. If you've watched any of my Noob Flight videos before, you've probably heard me say a million times. It took me 2 years to learn how to land comfortably. I couldn't stick it for a long time. It was hit or miss, and I thought, nah, maybe flying isn't for me. I don't know if I should ever do this. And I just kept at it and kept at it and kept at it, and you should too. And then I built up big old fear for it. Built a mental barrier, mental wall that prevented me after that from just, really being comfortable with it. So it says here, what goes up must come down. In this training session, we'll focus on the key techniques for successful landings, manage speed and glide path on the final approach, flare the aircraft to touch down smoothly, brake after landing to end the flight safely. Duration 4 minutes. Okay. So they want us coming in at 65 knots. The slower the better. You don't want to go below 40 knots or you can fall out of the sky. Usually on final approach, full flaps. That's those little bendy parts you always see on the wings, full flaps. So it helps slow you down and give you lift to help slow you down. And my dad used to call it learning how to fall gracefully or something like that. But here we go. I'm going to turn up Instructor Jess here and kill my microphone for a minute.
My first instructor used to say the best part of flying is landing in one piece. The man was a terminal pessimist, but he wasn't wrong. Today, you're in charge of bringing us in for a safe landing. We've got clearance for a straight-in approach, so we don't have to complete the standard traffic pattern. And I've already set us up in landing configuration at 65 knots with 10 degrees of flaps and idle power. We're on the glide slope now. Maintain speed around 65 knots. Change your pitch if you need to, and keep your aim point on the runway number. When you're targeting the runway number, you want to keep it steady in your sights. If it looks like the number's moving up in your windscreen, you're coming in low. You'll need to add a bit more throttle to get back on the slope. If it looks like the number's moving down in your windscreen, well, then you're too high. You'll need to add flaps to increase your rate of descent, but you'll also need to push forward and trim to change your attitude and maintain the same speed.
Sorry if I'm bouncing around. I'm switching hands here and trying to turn the mic back on. Another thing is your altimeter there in the middle. One trick they used to teach is that you keep the runway lined up with your altimeter. And that should put you... In this one, it seems like it should be, with the clock in the middle.
Keep your aim point on the runway threshold. When you're 10 feet above the runway, it's time to flare. Once we pass the threshold, shift your aim point to the end of the runway.
So lining it up on your altimeter right about here.
Aim the nose just above it.
We're coming in pretty fast. But as we get down here towards the numbers, keep aiming towards the numbers.
We're past the threshold. Start the flare.
So that just means pull the nose up.
Keep pulling back slowly. Let the plane settle onto the runway. Don't push it down, but don't let it start climbing.
Yeah, and keep focusing down the length of the runway. Keep gently pulling up on the nose. Lower your speed.
Now apply the brakes to slow us down and bring the plane to a stop.
I don't have a button set for that. I have to use the keyboard. One moment while I let go. There's the brakes. Later, I don't know if they'll teach you about it in these lessons, but there are lights on the side of the runway. They're called PAPI lights. And that will also tell you if you're too high or too low. They're visual indicators. too red means you're too low, too white mean you're too high, and what you're looking for always is too red and too white, and that means you're right in the glide slope. And the glide slope, just means that path, it's like a 3% usually, 3% angle towards the runway. You're normally supposed to stop when you hit these taxi line markings. My brakes don't seem to really want to kick in that well. Yikes. Yeah, my brakes. No, that's not working. I'm going to have to set those to something else. It's supposed to be control, number delete. Control number delete. Nope. Oh, I don't think I have the window active. There we go.
Great job.
Yeah, that helps.
They say any landing you can walk away from is a good landing. But if you can use the plane the next day, it's outstanding. Landings can be hard, even for seasoned pilots. Trust me, don't hesitate to practice. After all, that's what we're here for, right? Right. And again, it took me 2 years to get over my mental barrier, and I hope it doesn't take you that long at all to get into the zen and have no fear of landing. Even in emergency situations, after a while, start practicing with no power. Just kill the power. Learn how. Just try it. Be able to land under any situation. I think the best ones are to practice, even if you crash, are the emergency ones. Engine failure on takeoff, right after takeoff, where you have to just flip the whole bird around as fast as possible and get it on the ground as fast as possible. Drill it and drill it and drill it and drill it. If you're seriously going to fly and you're way more courageous than me, then just drill it and drill it and drill it. AOPA says the number one cause, one of the leading causes of fatal air crash for the private pilot and the person learning to fly is not enough time in the simulator. They won't let you count your simulator time as official time, but they want you to have a lot more simulator time. So please, practice your landings and practice your landings and practice your landings. And like I said, I didn't say it in this one. I screwed up a video earlier trying to do this one. No, now I'm forgetting what I'm saying. I don't even think I have tools to trim this. What a perfect time to have a brain fart. Yeah, definitely cut it and edit this one. Edit all this out. I'm saying to my imaginary editor, edit all this out. Hello, good night.
See you in the morning.
Good night. Okay. Well, that's crap. Not that. Not the saying goodnight and all that, and the kissy part. That was wonderful. But having a brain fart right after you get to the very end of making a video. And it was going to be something important, too. That's the way it goes, right? I have something important to tell you, but I can't remember. So, what is the next lesson? The next one is going to be the traffic pattern. A lot of people I've been reading have been having a problem with the traffic pattern. They wish that it drew it in the sky more. I don't know if they fixed that or added that, but and we should also check nav aids and or that stuff and see if it displays it. All right, let's stop this one.